Once upon a time, it was frowned upon in the photography community to shoot over 100 ISO. And in 2023, there are actually a few people that still believe that anything over 100 ISO is not usable. I can shoot 3200 ISO, do no noise reduction software on the computer, and still end up with a really good image. But if you're looking to reduce noise in your images, then there are two programs that we're going to compare today: Topaz Photo AI and DXO PureRaw3.
Hey, it's Kris from the future here. I was just about to upload this video. I recorded it a couple days ago, and last night Lightroom dropped a bombshell update. They added their own denoise software. What are the chances that out of the blue, right after I record this video, Lightroom finally adds their own AI denoise? In this video, I'm also going to include that. At the end, you'll see the workflow between that. It's really super simple, and I'll give you my final thoughts between all of the products at the end of the video.
Hey, what's up guys? My name is Kris Luckenbach. I'm a photographer here in Alaska, and I make videos like this one, helping you find new ways for your photography and exploring Alaska, especially Kodiak Island where I live. Okay, so before we get to editing the photos on the computer, I'm just gonna do a quick rundown between Topaz Photo AI and DXO PureRaw3 to find out what is better for your needs, and maybe there's a better workflow that you'll prefer. Okay, so starting out with Topaz Photo AI, I do prefer the workflow because I can just import my images into Lightroom like normal, and then I can right click on that photo, hit edit in Topaz Photo AI, do what I need, hit save, it comes back into Lightroom, done. Really easy, really nice workflow. If you want to do time lapses, you'll have to import your memory card onto a folder on your computer, batch process them in DXO PureRaw3, and then import them into Lightroom, and that's how you're gonna have to do your time-lapse batch processing for, multiple files. It doesn't have to be batch processing. You could do that for all your photos if you want. If you're a wildlife photographer, I think it's better to just import the one photo that you want into DXO PureRaw, edit it in Photoshop. So much better doing it that way than going back and forth between Lightroom 110 times. Let's get these photos edited on the computer. This isn't my normal workflow, but for video purposes, I have 3 photos here, and I'm just gonna drag them all in. If it recognizes a new lens, you can just hit save, and that comes up. Now all we have to do is just hit process now on the bottom right. Okay, I'm gonna do Deep Prime XD, and I'm just gonna leave these settings as normal. I'm gonna do DNG format, and we'll do a folder right next to the original files, and that's it. So we could just hit start processing. See, it takes a while. I think Photo AI is a little quicker than this. It is nice if you just import your photos like a time lapse, and then you just go ahead and walk away, get some coffee for a couple years, and come back and you'll be able to edit your photos. Now we have you in Photoshop, and we're on the first photo. This is shot a few years ago, a Canon 6D Mark II with a 12,800 ISO. So let's go ahead, and this is the original here. We'll zoom in, you can see the noise, and if I just toggle here, did a really great job. Now let's go ahead and convert this into a smart object, and we will edit this one in Topaz Photo AI. And what's good and bad is you have full control over Photo AI. You can sharpen it if you want to, you can reduce noise, you can make the noise reduction stronger or less strong, so it's totally up to you. I think we'll just let Photo AI do its thing, and we'll compare the two. We'll save that. And now, let's zoom in and see the difference here. Okay, PureRaw is definitely sharper, and I don't know if the program sharpened it, but definitely looks a lot sharper here. Let's go ahead and let's look at the original. So that's the original. That is Topaz. That is PureRaw. PureRaw looks pretty impressive here. That's also Deep Prime XD, by the way. We'll give this one to PureRaw. I think it did a better job. This is a Northern Lights shot, and this is actually Steve. If you guys don't know what Steve is, I'll leave a link in the description and you guys can understand. And the Aurora pages there's always some kind of weird argument between if this is Steve or not. But this one in particular, definitely Steve. So let me show you the original. That's what we're looking at here. We'll zoom in for you. And that's what DXO PureRaw could do. I actually think I chose one of the photos. I bumped a little bit, which is fine, I guess. Wow, that gets rid of the noise really good. We'll just pretend it's a sharp picture. This was like a time lapse, so I might have bumped it. Go ahead and we'll make this one a smart filter for Topaz. Okay, all it wanted to do was remove some noise, and it did. Let's save that to Photoshop here. Okay, this is Topaz. This is DXO PureRaw. Now these little weird lines here, I'm not sure if that's PureRaw or not. If we zoom into the original, you can kind of see them. I think PureRaw added them there over, thinking it looked more like the out of focus stars. I think PureRaw added these little squiggly lines here, but zooming out, you can't really see that much anyway. This is PureRaw, Topaz, the original. The original has noise, but honestly, guys, if you think that noise is going to affect your image when you print it, you guys are wild. You guys are wild. This looks good. And these are the raw images, by the way. I'm not editing anything for you in today's video. Moving on to this shot here, I want to thank my good friend Sergius Hannon for letting me use this Sol Wet Owl Shot 25,000 ISO, and this is the Nikon Z6 Mark II, and I think it does a really good job. 25,000 ISO, that looks good out of the camera. I can't get over it. But let's zoom in here, right? This is what PureRaw looks like. PureRaw, for some reason on this image, applied a lens correction thing. That's why it doesn't look lined up right. But looking at the noise itself, I think it looks pretty impressive, guys. I mean, that is 25,000 ISO. And there's a little bit of noise here at, you know, in the shadows. But man, I think it looks good at 25,000 ISO with no corrections here. But let's go ahead and make this one a smart object as well, and we'll see what Topaz Photo AI can do. Now, Topaz is recommending sharpening this one. I think it looks pretty sharp as is, but if we just go left and right here, Topaz did a pretty good job. Let's just see what it looks like without sharpening it. PureRaw, Topaz. Topaz completely eliminated all of the noise. If you zoom in here, you can see PureRaw still has a little bit of noise. Topaz really eliminated all of it. Topaz wins this one. I think PureRaw is tied with the Northern Lights shot. I think Topaz wins this Sol Wet Owl shot, and I think PureRaw won the bear shot. Sure, I could have chose a better photo for this Northern Lights one, but I think it worked out pretty well. I think the most impressive shot is this Sol Wet Owl shot, and I just once again want to thank Sergius Hannon for sending me this over. I really do appreciate it. And as promised, here is the brand new Adobe Lightroom Denoise AI. I think it works great, and here's the workflow.
Alright guys, I think Lightroom's comes out really well. I think it is on par with the other programs. All work in their own way. Some have a better workflow, some work better. PureRaw probably has the best looking image, but I also noticed that I used the best one, the Prime XD, and I'm not sure if that adds some sharpening or not. So I'm also going to include all of the photos in this video in a Google Drive link that you can see in the description below, and I'm also going to include regular PureRaw without the XD, just the deep prime itself, and show you the differences between there. They are unedited images, and I think that you can see that they all kind of look similar, but some have their perks, like I said earlier. I think I'm at the point now where I don't need the other programs. I was just on the trial of PureRaw. I think with Lightroom's integrated Denoise AI, I think it works pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, and I might use the Photo AI for other things like the 7x zoom on my Mavic 3 or something that has smaller sensors on the camera. So that's my final thoughts. Lightroom I'm going to stick with. out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. That is crazy.
But other than that, guys, I want to know, what program will you be choosing, if any? Are you one of those pure people that don't want to use any of these programs? Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something out of it. If you want to subscribe to the channel, see more of Alaska, maybe we can get some behind the scenes shots like this with Sergius, or we can do a full Northern Lights shot, or we can do some bear viewing together. I post all of that on my YouTube channel, and I hope you consider subscribing to the channel for that. That is it. I'll leave you with a video how I edit my wildlife photos using just Lightroom. None of that fancy numbo jumbo programs like this here. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.